Hello and welcome. This is the first in what's hopefully going to be a long-running series of liveNX magic hacks. I've been working with liveNX for a long time. Well, less than a year, but it feels like forever. And I've found out a lot of fun things, and I want to share them. And what spurred this in particular, the beginning of this, is that this is something that maybe nobody else in the world is doing. So I'm sure that somebody probably is, but it's nobody that only uses the web interface because it's not available there. It's somewhat available in the API, but it's not intuitive. And the way that I actually realized it, found it out, approached it, didn't involve either of those, at least on the front end. No pun intended. But let's launch into this. So the functionality I'm talking about is running reports in the same report group over different periods of time, different time ranges. So when you go to make a report group, I got my report group, I got two reports here, you have to run them over the same time range. But what if you wanted to run them over different time ranges? Well, you'd have to run two separate report groups. And that's not necessarily the funnest thing because then you can't have them all in the same display very easily. You go to, share it, print, save as PDF, and then you have to send two PDFs. All those reasons that you would want to have different time ranges in the same report group. So Uh, most directly, let me tell you how I got to this. Because if you're a student of liveNX, you look in the API documentation, right? And you look for reports, queue, you get the post, create new job, and then you see right here, right, all these criteria, and then inside the reports, you have your parameters. And you actually see that you don't have the start and end time because the report begin curly brace, begin this the end curly brace, end square brace, and then this is the overall report group parameters. But what you don't know is that inside of these individual report parameters is the time string, the time specification. And I'm going to show you how we find that out, etc. So in the liveNX file system, I'm currently SSH'd into it. The place to go for the liveNX server stuff is data, liveNX-server, data log. When we look in here, there's going to be a file or more files that are called REST-API.log. My version is 22.3. I can just delete this if I want to, and I'm going to. rm star REST API star 22.1 star. Yep, that'll do it. Yes. Cannot remove sudo bang bang. There we go. Hopefully I didn't waste your time doing that. That's just some fun stuff to do. ls grep REST API. Good. Less REST API. Let's see how many things I've done in this thing. Capital G to go to the bottom, and 8:15. That's 10 days ago. Relay. Yeah. Figured it out. My server thinks it's 10 days ago, so not going to worry about it. You see there. We are. So, let's go back here, go back into the file. This is a report that I just ran right here. You see this guy? This is the report I submitted in the web UI, which I showed you earlier on. It has those two reports, etc., all that fun stuff. I copy this, paste it in Notepad++ to break it down. Just kidding. Regular Notepad is good enough for me. Let me just make sure we got word rep on. Good. We're going to zoom in just a little bit. Super. Hopefully that's big enough. Otherwise, increase your resolution. So what do we have here? This is basically log stuff, log stuff, log stuff, log stuff, log stuff. The important stuff starts with the curly bracket followed by name. So get that. Get that there. Here's the name of the report. Sharing config, this is where you put your email addresses, etc. I don't have a mail server set up on my personal liveNX server. And then the reports. I'm going to put an enter key here. So report ID, and then the second report ID is going to come very quickly after that. That's right here. I'll just put a line between those. And then the end of that, you see report description null is the end. So we look for report description null right there. So each of these is an individual report. And you see how there's this time specification, start time and end time, and also the report group time specification. Now keep in mind, this actually doesn't matter at all. That's a secret. And this is the time spec, I think, that comes from the web UI, and then it gets populated to these individual reports. But what we can do is we can make this whatever time we want to. We can make these different times and have them show up with whatever times we want. So, and let me take a second to talk about this very quickly. I don't appreciate how liveNX deals with time, because what this is here is this is a basically UTC, and then so if I want this to go from like 8 a.m. until 12 p.m. of my local time, what this does is this becomes 8 a.m. UTC, 12 p.m. UTC, and then you've got the time zone specification, which happens, I think it happens down here. And so I just don't appreciate, yeah, there it is. Time zone ID, America, New York. I don't think it's anywhere else. And I don't appreciate that. I wish it would do absolute time with my time zone for this. And it doesn't. So, you know, there's probably reasons for that. It's probably so deeply ingrained in liveNX that you have to deal with it. But it's just one thing that I don't appreciate. So let's make this an arbitrary time. So we're going to keep this one, but we're going to make this a little different. Make the second one a little different. So let's see what we have here. So this is start time. So this is today at midnight. Well, yesterday at midnight now because I'm after midnight through 11:02 p.m. So we can back that up a day. So if you're engaged like I am, you know that 86,400 seconds is the length of a day. So if we take that particular time, subtract 86,400, multiplied by 1,000, because these are millis, not seconds. Look at that, it's a big number. Minus 86,400 milliseconds. That is our new start time. Hopefully it doesn't have commas, but it probably will. Yep. It's fine. I don't know why there's a comma at the end. That's silly. I think that has the right amount of digits. And then we're going to back this up. 86,400. thousand. Look at that. That is a whole lot. I never realized just how big that number was. I think I do need a comment after that. This is half what I'm talking about when I say sometimes I don't necessarily know what I'm doing. I just hack because, yeah, like I could easily have just deleted that comment. Anyways, so we take this and all we do is we put this into the API. Copy REST API documentation. Gotta try it out first. Try it out. Paste. Give me my API key. Copy. This is not public internet accessible, so no big deal. And what's fun, we can change other stuff too, as you might intuit. Notice how it lags, right? It's communicating with the server while I'm typing in real time here. So there's some lag there. So it's kind of a little annoying. So custom reports, diff time ranges. So we'll just keep that as it is. It shouldn't care about the extra spaces. That's why I'm not stressing over them. I've got that. Make sure this line, sometimes with different API calls, in the Swagger UI like this, it won't have bear. So just make sure bear is there. Execute. And we got a good response back. So let's go back to reports and we're going to see the name of that report. And you're going to see how it looks. Right there, custom reports, diff time ranges. See, first report, August 24th, 23:02 is the end time. August 24th, midnight. So this other one should be August 23rd, midnight. Boom. August 23rd, 23:02. I didn't practice that ahead of time. And then when we go to edit this report group, you see, obviously, that both of these, when you click on them, the time range here is the same. It's the 24th because that's what it is in the API, like in the in the web call for the specifications of the report itself. So there's no way to change that. So let's see actually what happens. Obviously, what's probably going to happen is it's going to take this single time range and do it again, right? Execute that. 24, 24, and 24, 24. So you see, running the exact same report, more or less, with the web UI kills it. So anyways, that is some super awesome stuff if that's what you're into. I'll save more lessons like that for the future, but I just wanted to get this out there. And thanks for watching.